see that our next speaker in the room is ready to go. I'm assuming ready to go. You ready to go, Christine? Yep. Okay. So we're going to unmute you. That's perfect. So let me introduce you to Christine Banno. Incredible. So if you were listening yesterday and Cal, who was speaking about her experience with, some afterlife, she was talking about the people that she's met. I met Christine. I don't know if she met you there, but she was so grateful for this event that Denise Lynn put on in Vancouver here, which was a major gala for women's health. And I was selected volunteered not, asked in a non-negotiable way if I would be the live auctioneer that night. And of course, I gave a beautiful gift of a bottle of our wine and a book and an opportunity to be on TV. And this incredible woman would not put her hand down. I mean, Denise was like, okay, if we make a couple $100 with this one, a couple $100 with the dress, I'm like, $100. She goes, yeah, she gave me 2 or 3 minutes. And I'm like, well, that ain't going to work. Right. So Lene, who you heard earlier, and Sharon, who I met that night, I walked up to them at their table and I was like, oh, by the way, you don't know me very well. I know we've met tonight. We've had some conversation. You are going to be the auctioneer kickoff and you're going to keep this going. They're like, all right. So I found some yes team there. And the people that were having dinner beside us at the table who I didn't know, I go, oh, you're coming up to the front and you're going to Vanna this and this woman and her poor husband. I'm like, let's go. They're like, okay. And we had a great time. And Christine was not going to not take this home. She was determined and I loved it. She has incredible spunk. She is an incredible energy to come into 262. So let me tell you, Christine Banno, and lucky us, she's in Vancouver. She is a 3 times founder. She is a well-renowned speaker and facilitator that works with founders and CEOs that want to skyrocket their impact, 7-figure in a way that feels relaxing. Nervous, wealthy nervous system. She's going to talk to us today about cracking the code on quantum success. The thing that you may not know about her, she is fascinated and equally terrified of great white sharks. Who was it? You're going to have to go to Hawaii and meet our beautiful mediumship friend who, went down into the water with no cage to meet sharks. The music that she is loving is Hallelujah. So that's a good connection right there. Hallelujah. One person is going to get a beautiful one-to-one private session, which is worth $2,222. And everyone is going to get a beautiful $1 million nervous system upgrade. So Christine, welcome to the Stand Up, Speak Up, and Show Up stage.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Deb. Hello, everybody. Deb, I just want to say thank you so much for creating the space. You're right. That night when we were doing the live auction, I was like a great white shark that night. You were like, who wants to speak and be part of this amazing thing? And I was like, I'm not putting my hand down. You're like 1,000, 1,200. I'm like, I would have paid 5. Eventually the other woman tapped out, but I was like, this is mine. And I didn't know why. But obviously meeting you and the connection that we've had and all of you beautiful, beautiful humans on this call as well is the reason. So it's always like trust the intuition, trust the gut, and let's go. So welcome, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for that intro, Deb, as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you would ask me 10 years ago, are you going to be sitting here on a stage, on a TV channel, whatever it is, speaking about quantum success and quantum wealth? I would have been like, you're fucking nuts. Pardon my French. I do get a little spicy. I swear often. It's not an intentional thing. I just get very passionate about this topic. Okay. So in 2016, I was newly pregnant, $300,000 in debt. I'd founded my first business, a boutique fitness studio, TRX suspension training for any of you out there who love the gym. I just opened, my first brick and mortar business. I was way over my head. I had no business opening a business, you guys, okay? Like your girl over here spent her life wandering through life, completely codependent, grew up bullied as a kid, no sense of purpose, no sense of who I was, totally addicted to chaos, like moved around a lot as a kid. And just wandering from career to career. Like just was like, what is my problem? Why can't I be normal? What's wrong with me? And in 2014, I'll just fast track even behind that, is that in 2014, 3 months after I got married, my husband went to rehab for drug and sex addiction. Okay. So it was not your ideal scenario. It was like, holy fuck. I had my holy fuck moment. Okay. I went to a week-long intensive for partners and families of addicts. And I hated spirituality. I hated the word God. I hated all of it. I was just bitter and angry and was like, my life right now is supposed to be, unicorns and rainbows and happily newly married and, all the things. And so I would bump into people and they'd be like, I haven't seen you since the wedding. And my response was like, everything's fantastic. Yeah, life's great. Because I was like completely in the mask and like in denial about my reality. So I went to this week-long intensive of partners of addicts and I had what I call my holy fuck moment. It was my spiritual awakening. It was this moment of the only way I can describe it was God energy came through my body after I got absolutely bitch slapped by the lady who ran it. Oh man, I hated her at first. She sat us all down and she said, "All right, we're gonna talk about you today." And I was like, "Me?" And I raised my hand. I was like, "Excuse me?" And she's like, "Yes." I'm like, "I just need to correct you. I think you're mistaken. Like, I don't actually have the problem." And she goes, "Oh, sweetheart, you have the problem. You're codependent." And I was like, "What? Code what?" So my whole life got cracked open that day. I had the God energy come through me, my spiritual awakening. I came home. I had no idea what was going on. I was like, well, I'm responsible for my life. And so I started getting downloads. I started waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, all these ideas. I'm going to help change the world. I'm going to help kids who struggle with, their parents being addict. All this stuff was coming through me. And I was just like, oh, like this is insane. So I had left my corporate job and I was teaching group fitness at the time, which again had no business doing that either because I had no background in, total imposter syndrome. I had no background in kinesiology or any of that. So that was a whole nother thing. But I remember my now ex-husband at the time saying, I think you should open your own fitness studio. And I was like, that's hilarious. I don't know anything about accounting. I'm not a business owner. I've never taken business school. And the seed was planted. And my gumption and my cute little self back then was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to help people mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, because I'd struggled with weight my whole life and I hated my body. And again, I could go into that forever, diet pills and just treating myself terribly. Fitness for me was how can I look good going to Vegas or the Dominican Republic, not how do I have a really strong, sustainable life and, all of that. So I opened a gym. So now we're back in 2016 where I started the story. And we just opened the gym. 3 months prior, I was 2.5 months pregnant, 300K in debt. My best friend and business partner left because her husband had a meltdown about her getting into business again. So she left. We had a rupture. My now ex-husband my husband at the time started using drugs again. So I was living in a 400 square foot apartment, pregnant, knocked up, 300K in debt, 21 employees. We were $10,000 over our estimated budget. And I was living off government assistance. And I remember thinking, oh my God, like what did I get myself into? Like what? So I was a shell of a woman. I was like in a complete dumpster fire. I was like, I am royally effed right now, and I had no idea what to do about it. So that, that journey, I ended up owning the business for 8 years. I was drowning, exactly, dark night of the soul. It was like, oh. So I went through so many initiations. In 2018, I had severe adrenal fatigue, burnout, what I now understand as nervous system like chronic nervous system dysregulation. My baby was premature, 6 weeks early. So I remember at one point again, sitting in the hospital, trying to learn how to pump in the NICU, trying to like AirPod call an employee being like, oh, the feedback on the gym wasn't very good today. And him being like, well, that's a you thing. And like yelling at me. And I remember just thinking like, oh my God, what have I got myself into? So I went on a journey of learning like personal development, manifestation, spirituality. I spiritually bypassed for a long time. I went into that. And then I descended down into all the human work, inner child work, everything I learned about the healing world, shadow work. I went down in that. So I spiritually bypassed it first. Everything's happening for a reason. And then it was like, oh shit. Well, yeah. And I also have a body that's severely traumatized. So I did all that work. And then I started getting myself into different groups and rooms, masterminds. I decided I needed to heal my relationship with money because I had a terrible relationship with money. And when I did that, I remember thinking, if I could make 10K a month, I will have made it. Like my life will be, all my problems will be solved. And I got myself into these masterminds and I started having 10K months, 15K months. I stepped into coaching. So that's when my gym shut down in 2020, temporarily through COVID, I really stepped into my coaching business, my intuitive coaching business, which I'd been building on the side, and fell in love with it. And all of a sudden I started having like 15K months, 20, 25, 30, 40, 45, 50K months. And my whole system, you'd think I was like over the moon. My whole system was completely messed up. It was like a full-time hangover. I bled the money out. I couldn't hold it. My identity hadn't upgraded to that. Okay. So I know I'm going on a lot of storytelling right now. I'm going to land the plane on all this and make it relevant to you. But when I think about cracking the code on quantum wealth, quantum success, I look at it as if you're here, I'm going to guess we'll call you a light worker. We'll call you a service. You've got something, you're a conscious entrepreneur, you're a visionary, you have something you want to build. Would that be right? Yes. Yeah. I know we've been talking about it for the last couple of days. We're building careers out of nothing. We're taking our pain and we're turning it into purpose, all of this. And so when I started healing my relationship with money, I started looking at what is going on here. Why can't I hold this? I have all these things I want to help people with. I want to serve the planet. I know I want to help people. What is this? Why do I see people? Why can I like channel insane ideas for clients and then they ghost it or nothing happens for it? Like there was all of these things I started seeing. I was in masterminds. Why are some people popping off? Some people are just completely stuck. They have so many gifts. So I think the biggest crime and the biggest hell on earth is having gifts and magic inside of you that you want to share with the world and you can't. You're stuck. You're like, what is this invisible wall? What is this like ceiling I'm hitting? Why can't I do it? Why can't I go bigger? Why can't I speak on stages? Why can't I clearly articulate who I am and what I do? Like, what is this? And I started seeing it everywhere. So I started studying trauma and the nervous system and how it impacts our ability to manifest, how it impacts our ability to design these lives, to access quantum levels of success and wealth. Because I do believe that if we are here and we have that vision inside of our heart, we are freaking meant to actualize it. But a lot of spaces and a lot of people are not taking into consideration our past. Because whatever you want, I believe, like you are meant to have it. And usually the thing we want has flavorings of things that were either unsafe, dangerous, or unavailable when we were younger, right? So for me, money was unavailable. My family didn't have money. So when I stepped into started making money, my whole system, if you think of a thermostat, it was set to broke. So I started making money, but I was like, I had lottery-itis, where you win the lottery and you're like, oh, get rid of it. I can't. Right. So I just started like bleeding it out. And same thing with success. I would have a bit of success. I would get excited about something and then I would just sabotage it. And of course, it's not sabotage. It's self-protection. It's our nervous system saying, I don't think that thing's good for you. So when I started becoming obsessed with this because I was like, I cannot stop. I have to understand, what is this? What is this? And so I'm building even right now a movement right now. It's making light workers, it's making visionary leaders so fucking rich, and not just rich in monetary, rich, wealthy in your life and your relationships, in being relaxed and being able to take a vacation and not having your email ding, 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 not sitting there and being like, is Stripe notifications coming in? Can I make like so much of our success I see right now is built off of survival energy. Majority of the founders and CEOs and people I work with, they have had traumatic childhoods because let's be real, if you're a light worker, if you're somebody who's been here, you got shit to do with the planet. Guess what? Your past is going to be pretty messed up. Why? Because it's your embodiment. It's what you're here to teach. It's how you're here to serve. It's your greatest gift. And our nervous system doesn't know that, doesn't give a shit about whether we're happy and wealthy and successful. It's like, are you safe? That over there, that success, the thing you want, you're gonna have to be visible. You're gonna have to be known. You're gonna have to be seen. You're gonna have to be loved. You're gonna have to connect with people. You're gonna be vulnerable. Let me check the database to see what that's, we got the intel we got on that. Oh, no, 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 no. Remember that time when you were young and everyone laughed at you? Like for me, I was humiliated as a kid. I was laughed at, I was bullied. So me trying to go out and be like, I'm gonna help the world. I love this. Such pure intention. Everything in my system. I'd go to record a video, my whole body would just shut down. I'd all of a sudden get distracted. I'm like, I'm so hungry. I need to watch Netflix. I didn't need to watch that. My system was just trying to distract me, right? It's trying to protect me. So it was this living hell that I experienced. And now I'm like, no more. Because I know I'm here on a mission. I'm here to activate and elevate lightworkers. I'm here to help the collective. We'll use different terminology maybe in my branding, my marketing, my messaging girl is like, no. And I'm like, maybe. But it's like, I'm here to help you blast through those success blocks, to help dissolve the trauma and the stuff that's keeping your nervous system dysregulated. Because the thing is, when we're holding trauma, our past, which is again our greatest purpose, is what we're here to teach. When it's sitting in our body as undigested emotion, unprocessed, we all have it. There's no shame in it. We all have it, right? It can be as simple as our parents, us asking for money as a kid. Can I go swimming? And they're like, what? We don't have any money? Why would you ask me that? And then we're like, oh my God, I'm terrible. I'm bad, right? When our subconscious is being formed, we don't have the capacity to think like, I wonder if my parents just in a shitty mood. We're like, I'm bad. Oh my God, I'm taking money that my parent doesn't have. And then how does that show up as when we're adults? We send an invoice and we're like, our whole stomach drops, or we feel terrible, or we just ghost and don't send the invoice, or like, it's fine. You know what? That'll be a freebie. That's on me. It's okay. Right? It shows up in every way and it hinders our success. Right? And so what I realized with working through my clients is that when you dissolve the trauma, I have this method that I have, this relaxed, rich, regulated method. We go into the body. It's very simple. I can teach people how to do it themselves as well. But you go into your body and you start connecting with the energy in your body, and you let your body speak to you. And then what happens is the trauma starts to close out and dissolve. And when it does that, it stops kicking your nervous system into red alert all the time, into fight or flight, because you don't have all that high definition memory sitting in your constantly playing every time you go to step towards the thing you want, right? Every time we go to step towards more visibility, a bigger opportunity, whatever it is, raising our rates, our system literally goes into the data files, says, what intel do we have? And it's like, oh, and then all the high def movie starts playing and we're like, and then our body's like, oh my God, I'm in that moment again. Body doesn't understand time, right? And so it starts freaking out. We're dysregulated. We're in chronic stress again. Then we're trying to build our businesses from survival. You can never access quantum success through survival. You will always burn out. I've done it. 10 out of 10 do not recommend. It's not fun, right? And so we need more humans understanding this concept that there's nothing broken. There's nothing wrong. It's just that whatever you want, if you don't have it, there's something in your past, there's something in your system, there's something in your data field that's saying that thing is not safe. And so if we can simply understand, like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Like there's a part of us, I always say to people when I'm teaching manifestation, there's a part of us who wants it, and there's a part of us who doesn't want it. I call it the gas and the brake. And it's the most frustrating thing ever when you're going down the road of like your mission, your vision. I'm here, this is what I'm here to do. And then it's like stepping into the Ferrari out of the school bus energy and into the Ferrari. And we're like, oh, this is it. I'm going to help people. And we go to get on the highway looking sexy. And then we're like stalling the car, gas brake. And we're like, what is going on? And then usually it has us either not making money in our business, or it makes us ghosting opportunities, doing all sorts of funky stuff. And then I see a lot of people, tap out or be like, you know what? I'm just going to get a regular job. I'm like, no, do not. Don't you do that. Don't give up. Get back here right now. Right. And so I like to make the learning fun and accessible. I mean, like, let's make lots of analogies. Let's make this hilarious. Let's make it like, it doesn't have to be so heavy. Right. Bringing humor and lightness into the darkness or into the journey. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just like, yeah, you got some shit from your past, some undigested stuff. Let's go have fun. Let's go play. Right. And then all of a sudden people are like, oh, I'm like, that's going to be easy. Like people, you know, if I meet somebody new, they're like, let me tell you, I've been meditating and affirming and doing all the right things, and I still am burnt out. And this, I remember saying to one of my CEO clients, listen, I'm going to be totally frank with you. If we work together, I don't want you doing any of that shit. She's like, what? None of it. And she's like, well, what do you mean? And I was like, I'm going to get you to scream. We're going to go into the places that you've been avoiding, and I'm going to walk through with you there, and we are going to clear that shit. Like she was drowning in her business. She literally wanted to give it up. She had an amazing, legendary business helping like housing and like um, women in housing and single parents and all that. And I was like, no fucking way. Are we giving up on that dream? So we went in, did all that excavation work. I got her to like get in touch with her anger because so many women suppress their anger, right? Guess what happens in your business? You don't have boundaries. Leaky, not charging. You're getting in fights with people. You're, you know, getting so overwhelmed. Like you have a hard time telling people, setting expectations or with clients or any of that stuff. So all of our past shows up in our current business if we don't clean that up. And then what does that do? It hinders our success. So when I look at quantum success, I'm not thinking of linear success or quantum wealth or whatever it is. I'm not looking at it in a linear way. Anybody can go and make money. Anyone can go and do X, Y, Z. And here's step one, step two, step three. Where I see quantum success, quantum wealth is when you're tapped into, I have this formula. It's like a little trifecta. It's your story. Your story is everything. Oh, juicy, juicy. Everything you've been through. I always say like your cringe is your it factor. Like what you're most afraid to share is actually your it factor, right? It's the thing that separates you because it's your unique story through your unique lens, your unique energy signature, your God-given gifts, obviously, what you're really fucking good at, what you're obsessed with as well. Like you're never going to access quantum success if you're not obsessed with what you're doing. Because when shit gets hard, which it will, you're going to want to tap out. So it's like, what are you obsessed with? And then when you unlock your, what I call your $1 million nervous system, which is when you've cleared the trauma and you learn how to regulate, because when you've cleared the trauma, you can go and get dysregulated. It's not about not being dysregulated. You're going to be dysregulated every time you say yes to a new opportunity or you're visible. But it's about coming back. And it's a lot easier to come back into regulation when you don't have trauma behind the scenes, just constantly going, right? And so if you really want to unlock all of that, it's intimacy with yourself, it's connection with yourself, it's micro moments, it's anything about any goal, anything you want right now, and just like what part of me wants it? Okay, I want to create more impact, I want more success, I want to be visible. Great. Why don't you want it? Get a piece of paper and a pen. Literally, this is the easiest. Take 30 seconds to do. Left hand side, why do I want it? All the obvious reasons. Right hand side, why would I not want it? Just play. Why might I not want this? Oh shit. Because people could not like me. People might reject me. People could talk about me. I worked with an actress and she's like, I want to be on the feature film. And I was like, okay, amazing. Can you handle if people start talking about you, saying you look terrible and you're ugly and this and that? And she's like, ugh. I was like, yeah. So holding the flip side, the duality of what we want and looking at like, why might I not want it? Acknowledging the part of you, hands on body, like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. And through the gift, this will take you into a deeper process. In the gift I'm giving, it'll actually go into a full-blown like process, like an hour process where you can go through in your body and clear trauma and all sorts of stuff. But I'll just leave you this. I know I'm at time. Damn, I could talk forever. If you want to unlock that quantum success, it's everything I talked about today. It's just getting in touch with your past. It is the unlock, your key. You have so much magic. Do not give up. There is a simple way. That's why I'm building literally the mastermind right now because I'm like, I can't handle this. I cannot handle this right now. I need everyone to come together to be like, you're made for magic. You're here for insane amounts of success, insane amounts of impact, right? But don't give up. You just have stuff that's a little sticky and from your past that's like throwing off a false alarm in your system. And when we clear that, you're off to the races, baby. Okay. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there.
You'll leave it there. Oh my goodness. Hearts and jazz hands and, you know,